Sí, yo nací en un central azucarero, es decir, en un sugar mill, that it was founded and built by Milton S. Hershey. Older people do remember Hershey sugar in the 5-pound little sacks. I was born and raised there, even though I went to school in Havana, which Havana is 30 miles away. Traveling the railroad back and forth to school, and but to live in the town was like very safe. The city, the town had everything. The Coca-Cola company at that time purchased all the sugar for their factories in the United States from my hometown, from the sugar mill built by Hershey. The ground in Cuba was so rich that it's probably the only country where you could plant sugar and harvest it, doing it the proper way, harvested from year to year without having to replant. The coffee then, after a few years, when the plants start bearing fruit, and it's picked by hand like in most countries at the right time, the Cuba was self-sufficient in the production of coffee. We didn't have to bring in any coffee. And tobacco the same way. The culture, yes, in Cuba most everybody smoke. Okay, the cigarettes were this darker, stronger, bitter tobacco produced, and they were different kinds, not like in the fruit. They like in apples you have Macintosh and you have Red Delicious, and you have, well, in tobacco, like any plant, you have different varieties. My grandfather's family, they had a little cigar making factory, but in Cuba, anywhere you are, you're always close to a beach. So I would go from my town. It was a typical thing to go during the summer specifically. It was like a ritual that all the family had to go to the beach. It was all a part of it. That in anywhere for any Cuban, I mean, a Cuban that didn't know how to swim, it was like a guy with no legs.